Hey, this is Melody, your East Tennessee real estate resource. And I had a family friend reach out a little bit ago. We're seriously thinking about converting our garage into usable living space. If we do that, will that give us value on the home? Oh, sweet friends. Stay tuned. We'll talk about it. We're thinking about converting our garage into usable living space now. We need more space. We got a little one now, and the little one's toys take up all the room. What a great problem to have. And so I'm going to tell you what I've seen, and then I'm going to tell you what I found out. So first thing is, I see this all the time in East Tennessee. I will see where a garage has been converted into livable space. Now, you might have a different definition of livable than what somebody else has. So that's kind of just a very broad term, if we're honest. We have areas where permits are not very common. And so it could be Billy Bob or his cousin Joe who converted this garage into livable space. And so then you use it, life is wonderful, but you go to sell the house and the appraiser comes in and they say, I'm not counting that square footage. I'm not counting it because it's not livable space. So I even reached out to some appraisers to get very specific ideas. And I want to share with you what some of their responses are. And I am reading this because there is a lot to this. So I appreciate your patience. When we're talking about livable space, we're talking about the gross living area. Gross meaning maximum amount here. Okay, it has to be finished to the same quality as the rest of the house. So if you are considering converting a garage to gross living area, then it needs to be of the same quality. That means drywall, flooring, trim knot concrete block, or bare studs. Another thing that it must have is a permanent heat source. Now, in Tennessee, air conditioning is not required, but heating is. And so, if you were thinking about converting a garage into gross living space, you would have to have a heating source. It has to be capable of maintaining a year-round temperature of at least 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay? So that means you're either going to have to do some type of additional ductwork. It's got to be capable of maintaining a year-round temperature of 55 degrees. Here's the kicker, okay? It must not look or feel like a garage. The space should seamlessly blend in with the existing living areas. In other words, I should be able to walk in and not even realize that there used to be a garage there. Now, friends, that might sound easy. It is actually much harder than you think because a lot of times garages will have just a very slight angle in the flooring. And so if you're walking in there, a lot of times you can feel that going downhill. The garage door must be removed and the opening finished to match the home's facade. So if your home is brick and you decide to convert your garage space into this gross living area and you remove that garage door, Now these are this information is from a group of appraisers, certified appraisers, who said the opening finished to match the home's facade. Now, here in Tennessee, you will see a lot of times that is not the case. They will have a brick home, they'll put vinyl siding up where the garage door used to be. Here are some common mistakes that disqualify the home. Okay. Keeping the garage door intact or simply sealing it off. Even though you might have done everything else, if that garage door is still on there, technically, according to these appraisers, you cannot use that as gross living space. Using portable heaters or leaving the floor sloped. Okay, if you're using portable heaters, technically that would not be able to maintain that 55-degree temperature living space year round. And just like I spoke about earlier, that floor slope, sometimes you can still feel it. Sometimes that will knock that space from being considered gross livable space. Or calling it finished because it does have heat. Well, you can't just do one of these things. You have to do them all for it to be considered gross livable space if you're converting a garage to more living space. Let's talk about the appraisal and the value consideration because that's what my family friend was asking. Will this add value to the home? Okay. Here's what the appraiser said. Even when done correctly, converting a garage may hurt the appraised value due to the loss of enclosed parking or storage, especially in rural areas where garages are more desirable. And I will tell you, here in East Tennessee, even today, it's a kind of a windy day. We do have a lot of pop-up storms. There'll be thunder, there'll be lightning. We have a lot of trees like this one behind me with branches and part of the branches will fall off and things of that nature. So garages are actually something that add value to a home. So if you consider converting that to have more living space, but you're losing your garage, you got to think about that. Converted garages are often flagged by appraisers if they don't match the quality of the interior spaces or are obviously still garages in form or function. You can't just put vinyl down and put a plug-in heater and say, okay, it's a finished garage. No, that's not always the case either. Some appraisers suggest maybe partial conversions. Maybe could you convert a portion of that garage into usable living space and leave the rest of it as a true garage? Maybe that might be a possibility. Or could you do something that would be able to be considered usable living space, but then be able to convert it back? Is that something you could do? And that might be involve talking with a contractor to see, okay, what are some things that we could do? Now, what I told my family friend is this, okay? Really want you to think about this decision. Of course, do your research. I'm telling you, just like I'm telling you guys here on the video, but do your own research. The decision is always yours. But check nearby homes. Check homes in your neighborhood. Check homes within a 5-mile radius and see if most of them do have garages. Because if most of them have garages and then you convert your garage to usable living space and then you go to sell, the homes with the garages are probably going to sell faster than yours if that's what your area has. Removing a garage might make your home less competitive even if the square footage goes up. So it almost sounds like Yes, you gain the square footage, but losing the garage may not make it balance out. So I hope that was helpful to you. If this is something that you're dealing with, whether it's here in East Tennessee or maybe even another state, maybe this will give you some things to think about if you're kind of in the same quandary as my family friend here. And if I can answer any questions for you about real estate here in East Tennessee, please reach out. Contact me using the information below, and if you are a first time viewer, I would love it if you subscribe. Just click that little bell. And if you're looking to move to East Tennessee or sell here in East Tennessee, I'd be more than honored to have a conversation with you. Share this video, like this video. If you have a question about garages that I might could help you with, if not, I'll see who I can get that could help you with it. Please reach out. And until next time.